I walked into the store, and the sales attendant standing close to the cashier greeted me warmly. I smiled back in response, before proceeding to what I came to buy, which was a shoe polish. I searched all round the place for this particular shoe polish. My uncle had sent this particular shoe for me from London, and it has been over 3 months I have not used the shoe. He sent it with a pack of polish, but I don't know how the polish got missing. I have searched, scattered the whole house, even asked my family and friends if they saw any polish, but none of them did. My friend's wedding is coming up this Saturday, and I have already planned on how to rock my shoe for the first time, but it needs a little shining to be able to stand out. I'm part of his groomsmen, and almost everyone is set for the wedding. I don't want to disappoint on Chris' big day. Since I couldn't find the polish, I decided to check it out in stores. I need to be in my best. Who knows, I may also find my own missing ribs. It may even be my shoe that will attract her to me, or my smiles, but I need to be in my very best. I may even get to connect with Amelia. I have checked 3 big stores before coming to this particular one, and it looks like I will have to walk out of here with a sad feeling, knowing well I may not be able to rock my shoe for my friend's wedding, and it will require me getting another matching shoe for the suit. I really don't want to wear another shoe, except the one my uncle sent. The shoe was made with original outstanding leather, and it was creatively designed with a little heel. Everything in it was moderate and beautifully made. The only thing remaining is the polishing, and it will definitely stand out. A lot of people will get to see me, because it is a big occasion, and I'm also among the groomsmen. Amelia may eventually be mine at the end.
Excuse me, sir, can I help you with anything?
I turned and saw the same sales attendant that greeted me earlier. She was wearing a cheerful smile, which can easily calm a disturbed nerve, but I was too troubled to notice her that much. I'm looking for a shoe polish, burgundy color. Something like a deep brown kind of shade, but is not here. I have searched through, but I can't find anything close to it. She went straight to check out the shelf, but I know she was only wasting my time, because I have already searched, but nothing like that. She brought out 3 shades of brown polish, but I have already seen those ones before, so I shake my head sadly, telling her that I have seen all the polish there before she came, and what she was doing wasn't necessary because the polish wasn't there.
I'm sorry, sir. Do you need it urgently?
Yes, I do. Today is Tuesday. I need it before Friday, because I will be using it on Saturday. Do you know where I can go and buy it? She mentioned 2 big supermarket which I have already been to, and I told her I have gone there before driving down.
Burgundy color is not so common, sir.
So what exactly are you saying? Does it mean my shoe will only be admired and worn with the eyes instead of leg? All because the color isn't common. You all really need to start upgrading your stores. This is just so frustrating. She remained calm and didn't say a word throughout my heated rant. Why should she? She was only doing her job. I had no right to take out my frustrations on her. I turned and started walking away, but then she called out gently.
Excuse me, sir. Maybe I can help you check out other stores. On my way home, I can stop by a few supermarkets to search for the burgundy color. But I need to see the shoe first, so I will know exactly what I'm looking for.
I paused, unsure how to respond to her kind offer. But what truly mattered to me at that moment was finding the exact match for my shoe, so I quickly brought out my phone and showed her the picture. She asked me to send it to her on WhatsApp. Without thinking twice, I got her number and forwarded the picture. I even gave her money for the polish, and added a little extra, just in case it was expensive. I honestly had no idea how much it cost. Then I got into my car and drove home. I waited. I even checked a few more shops, but found nothing. By Friday morning, I was already feeling discouraged when I received a message on WhatsApp. She had sent photos of different burgundy polishes, and asked me to choose the closest one, but her phone camera wasn't very clear, and I had trouble seeing the shades properly. Why didn't she have a phone with a better camera? Still, something in me stayed hopeful as I got into my car and headed to her store. I kept praying silently that she found the exact color I needed. I needed to look my best for my friend's wedding. Amelia would be there. I've had a crush on her for so long. She's classy, beautiful, and from a well-off family. The wedding would be the perfect moment to talk to her. I know I have good style, and I plan to look great. She wouldn't be able to ignore me. And now, this sales attendant, whose name I hadn't even asked, had given me a ray of hope. I quietly prayed I wouldn't be disappointed. I drove down to the store, and just as I stepped down from my car, I saw the sales attendant walking towards me with a bag in hand. She greeted me, and I nodded absent-minded. All my mind was in getting hold of whatever was inside the bag. It was as if she knew my thoughts, and quickly handed the bag over to me. First, I saw two deep brown polish, and frowned. I started boiling angrily, and did not bother to check the next item. What is this? What is the meaning of this rubbish? After giving me hope that you will help and get the polish, you got this rubbish for me. Does this looks like a burgundy color to you? Were you deaf and dumb, or is it that you cannot understand simple English when I was mentioning the exact color that I needed? What kind of disappointment is this, and tomorrow is the wedding day. What am I supposed to do? This is so frustrating. If you couldn't get it, why didn't you just tell me earlier so I'd know what to do? Now what am I supposed to do with all these things you got? I waved the bag in front of her in frustration. I was really upset, and didn't stop complaining. But she remained calm and unmoved. She must have been used to handling difficult customers, because I couldn't understand how she managed to stay so composed while I went on and on. After tossing the bag toward her, she caught it swiftly. I was about to leave, when she dipped her hand into the bag, and brought out the last polish, the one I hadn't even bothered to check after seeing the first two wrong ones. She held it up, and I paused. I blinked to be sure I wasn't imagining things. I took the polish from her and examined it. It was exactly what I needed. The exact color I had been looking for. My mood changed instantly. I was filled with excitement.
I got those other two first, and it took a while before I finally found the exact one you needed. I didn't want to disappoint you, which is why I kept searching. I'm glad you finally have your burgundy shoe polish,
she said softly before turning to leave. I knew I must have hurt her with my words. I called her back, and she stopped. I took out my wallet and handed her some money, but she politely refused.
Thank you, sir. The first money you gave me was more than enough to cover the cost and the effort to find the polish.
No, please take it. You must have gone through a lot of stress to get the perfect color for me. This is just a small token of appreciation, I said gently, trying to convince her. But she still refused, thanked me again, and walked away, leaving me standing there with the money in my hand. I got into my car. At least, I finally had the polish. Tomorrow was my friend's wedding, and I had to look my best. Amelia would be there. She had been my crush for the longest time. Classy, beautiful, and intelligent. The wedding felt like the perfect opportunity to connect with her. I woke up early the next day and dressed up. As one of the groomsmen, we all drove to the church together. My friends admired my shoes and asked where I got them. I proudly told them my uncle sent them from the UK. I looked so good, I felt like the celebrant myself. I couldn't wait to show off in front of Amelia. During the wedding, I scanned the crowd looking for her. I had dressed up just for this moment. Left, right, center, I searched for the one person who truly mattered to me. It was during the reception that I finally saw her, dancing joyfully with her friends. I wondered why she hadn't noticed me. I know I looked great, and my outfit is on point. She should have seen me by now. Feeling a little discouraged, I walked past her section slowly, hoping she'd notice, but she seemed completely lost in the music. I passed again, pretending to be on a call. As I passed close, I gently bumped into her, and quickly caught her to steady her.
Please be careful, there are other places to walk. Why must you come through here? You almost knocked me down.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to. I was distracted by a phone call, and didn't see where I was going. She nodded and returned to dancing. Oh no, what's wrong with me? This was supposed to be my moment. She hadn't noticed me, so maybe I needed to take the first step. By the way, you've got amazing dance moves. Honestly, you're a fantastic dancer. I wish I could dance like you.
I've loved dancing since I was a little girl.
I waited for her to say more, but she didn't. She went back to dancing. I didn't want to overdo it, so I walked away. But then she said something that made me turn quickly. The DJ was so loud I couldn't hear her clearly. I leaned closer, and she shouted into my ear.
I said I love your shoes. They're beautiful. Is that wine or brown?
Wow, she noticed my shoes. It's burgundy, neither wine nor brown. I got it from the UK.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. It looks really good. You better keep it safe before people start copying the design. They can recreate anything in this country.
I wanted her to say I looked nice too, not just the shoe, but I accepted the compliment happily. Half a compliment is better than none. She reached for a drink from a tray of champagne, and I grabbed a glass too. Just as I turned to leave, she caught me again with another question.
Are you Chris' friend or relative?
Yes, a friend. We attended the same university. And from there, I kept the conversation going. I told her how I met Chris, and added a few more stories to keep her attention. She asked a few more questions, and I answered them all, probably more than I should have. I had seen her several times before at parties and get-togethers, especially around Chris' wife. That was when I began admiring her. Now here I was, actually talking with her. It felt like a dream come true. At the end of our conversation, I gathered the courage to ask for her contact, and she gave it to me, with her name. That moment made my entire day. I had achieved more on Chris' wedding day than I had in a long while. When I got home, we chatted a bit during the week. One day, while scrolling through my phone, I saw the contact I saved as Burgundy Polished, the helpful sales attendant. I suddenly remembered what Amelia had said about people copying shoe designs. So I sent a message asking her to delete all the pictures I had sent of the shoe. She read the message but didn't respond immediately, so I called her. Hello. It's not nice to read someone's message without replying.
I'm sorry, sir. I was attending to a customer, and couldn't respond right away.
Alright, I just wanted you to delete the images of the shoe I sent. Please don't share them with anyone. That shoe is rare and expensive. I don't want copies being made. I repeated myself a few more times to be sure she understood.
I already deleted them before you even asked. My phone memory is almost full, so I only keep important things. The images are long gone. No need to worry. I need to get back to work, sir.
Did she just say my shoe picture was not important? That didn't sit well with me. I felt slightly insulted. I almost called her back to ask for clarification, but restrained myself. Later that night, I sent her another message, advising her to get proper customer care training, and reminding her that customers deserve respect. She didn't respond until much later when she simply wrote, "Okay, I'm sorry sir for the way I sounded. The pictures are deleted." I felt good and smiled like a boss. I don't want some sales attendant giving me attitude over some little help she rendered to me. That night, I spoke with Amelia. She promised to visit over the weekend. I had completely forgotten about the sales attendant. All that mattered now was preparing to host Amelia and hopefully share how I truly feel about her. All thanks to my burgundy shoes for connecting me to my crush. Nothing else matters this weekend but me and Amelia. That Saturday, Amelia came but did not waste time. She said she was attending a party, and just wanted to stop by and know my place, but she will return back the following weekend, and we will spend time together. Within the week, we got to talk more, and I was loving the way she made me feel. On the following weekend, Amelia was coming to spend time with me. I couldn't just keep calm, my heart was overfilled with joy. My house was in a perfect order. I must impress her in everything. Since I wasn't a good cook, I decided to order Chinese and other local food from a big restaurant, and they delivered it all in time. I also ordered some continental dish. I don't know the type of wine she would like to take, but I made sure there were varieties of things. If she doesn't want one, she will want the other. I set up the dining, and turned up my power air freshener to freshen up my whole apartment. The air condition was cooling so well. Everywhere smells and feels nice. With the way I was acting, anyone who sees me will think I'm expecting somebody that has a key to long life and prosperity. Nobody will understand is all for my woman crush. My own pretty Amelia was coming to visit me, and to spend time with me. I do not want to disappoint in any way. I want to prove how much of a gentleman I was. I checked the time and knew she will soon arrive. I called her to know where exactly she had gotten to, and she said she was very close. After some time, she called asking me if it was okay to park her car outside my gate, or can she drive into the big compound. I rushed out of my door to the gate, and told the gate man not to bother opening the gate for my guest. I want to be her personal gate man today. Matthew that have been guarding our gate for years stood at a distance, and watched me as if something has gotten into my head. I was very happy. I ignored Bill's stare and opened the gate for Amelia. I told her not to park outside. She should drive in and park right beside my own car, since there was enough space in the compound. She did that, and I left the gate for Matthew to close, while I rushed to direct Amelia, so that she will not park wrongly. You may think something is wrong with me, but what did you expect from a man who had admired a lady for a long time, and she was finally paying me a good visit? I was ready to do anything to show that I was indeed a gentleman, and good husband material to keep. As she was about opening her car door and stepped down, I held the door widely open for her, and she came out with a cute smile. Amelia was really beautiful, and I can't hold back myself from the way my heart was pounding on seeing her step out like a goddess. I wanted to give her a loving hug, and maybe a peck, but I did not want to appear too forward. It was as if she read my mind, and gently spread her beautiful hands around me. I swallowed hard, and guarded her to my apartment. When she got inside, she exclaimed happily,
Wow, your place is so beautiful and smells nice too. The first time I came, I was too much in a hurry and did not really look round. What is that beautiful fragrance I'm perceiving?
Is lavender power air freshener. I'm glad you like it. Welcome to my home. What can I offer you, please? I have different wine, both alcohol and normal fruit wine. I have food too, both local and continental dishes. I even ordered some Chinese noodles, just in case you are interested. She was still walking round the house, admiring my house interior decor. I turned down the air condition, so that she won't be cold. I have good taste for good things, and everything about me was in high class. I had a mini artificial aquarium, which looked so real, and it was well positioned in a corner of my sitting room. After my university, I went to the UK for my master's, and returned with the artificial aquarium. And it has been gracing my house for over 2 years now. And I love the way people usually exclaim while looking at it. The aquarium was one of the most beautiful decorations in my house. I was happy watching Amelia rub her manicured hand on the glass surface. I asked her again what she wanted me to offer her after she came to sit down on the cushion.
Nothing for now. I'm not really in the mood for food. Bring the alcoholic wine, let's be chilling with it, while we gist.
I got the wine and poured some in a wine glass, before handing it to her. I sat in the next chair close to Amelia with a glass of my own wine in hand.
So Dan, tell me about yourself, deep things about you that we haven't really discussed before. Are you in any relationship?
I'm from a family of 6, mom and dad inclusive. I'm the last born, and only son. I have 3 elder sisters, 2 are married and busy with their families. The single one is a successful lawyer in Georgia, and my mom stays with her. Dad is in the country with me, and he has a big farm in another state where he spends most of his time. He was an agriculturist before retiring. My mom was a principal. She owns a school, but entrusts it into able hands, before leaving for Georgia, USA. I finished my university here, before proceeding to London for my master degree program. I stayed with my uncle, my father's only junior brother, who wanted me to stay over there and get a job, but I got my own plans, and wanted to start my own company back here in my country. I'm a full country man, no place like home. My dad also wanted me to come back after my master degree program, been an only son. I returned back 3 years ago and started my own company here and has been flourishing. I still travel sometimes, but just for a visit. I'm planning on starting my own family soon, but haven't been too lucky with ladies. I'm not in any relationship at the moment. Dated while in the UK, during my program days, but it ended last year because of distance. No lady at the moment. But I have cousins and friends visiting, and they stay days, weeks, and even months with me. I love having people around me. Being alone in this house can be boring, and I also visit my dad whenever I'm less busy with work. Well, just me and myself with my people. So, back to you. Are you in any serious relationship? She smiled, gulped down her wine, and poured another one for herself. She did not answer the question. Instead, she said,
Your life sounds so interesting and stress-free. I envy you though. Getting all the attention as the baby of the house.
No, not really. I work so hard as if I'm the firstborn of the house. The only good thing my family did for me was education and making me a master degree holder. That was where their strength stopped, and I picked up from here. It's my turn to make my family happy and my parents proud. There's really no benefit in being the last child or only son. My people expect too much from me already as an only son, and I really do not want to disappoint them. Now, enough of me, Amelia. Let me hear about your own life. Are you in any relationship, and how was your growing up like? She smiled again before gulping down another cup of alcohol. I wanted to ask her to take it easy with the way she was drinking. She was in her 4th cup, and I was still in 1. I restrained myself from doing that. She must be used to taking too much alcohol. She poured more drink into her cup, looked up at me and said with a cute face, while waving her hands with her long fixed nails, which she painted all black.
Well, my dad got money. I'm not a poor child. I came from a rich home too. My dad gave me everything I want. I got money, and my life is moving so perfect. That's the end of my life story.
She laughed out loudly and I joined in. I watched her with a smile, as she drank deeply again from her cup. Her phone began to ring. She quickly picked up and said,
Hello Poppy. Yeah, I'm fine. With a friend. I will see you when I get back. Okay, thanks. Love you too.
With her last word, I took a sip from my drink, and pretended to be concentrating on the television. She started using her phone. I guess she was texting somebody. I allowed her, and still use my side eye to watch and wait till when she will have my time. When it appears she was taking long, I turned to her and said, Maybe we can eat now.
Hold on Dan, I need to send this to my dad, and reply to a few messages too from friends. You know, being a pretty girl from a rich home requires a lot. One of the benefits is getting different types of messages. There's also a friend who was supposed to transfer some cash to me today. I need to send my account details to him. We will eat once I'm done, alright?
I nodded with a smile. Do I really have a choice? All I did was to wait for her to be done. I later guided her to the dining, after she was through with her phone. With all the alcohol she took, she was still cool, and wasn't acting drunk as I had expected her to be. I asked her which of the food she wanted to eat first. She looked round the table, and twisted her face sadly. You don't like any of the food. Is there a problem? There are varieties to eat here. You can make your choice. Amelia said none of the food on the table interested her. She wanted a chicken shawarma, with some vegetables in it. I gasped out and stared right at the filled dining table I set before her. Where am I supposed to get chicken shawarma? I remembered a place, but it is a long drive from my house.
I feel like eating shawarma. Nothing on this table interests me at all. I don't want to eat any of these things here. I wish you could get it for me, but if you can't, then...
Of course I will get it for you, Amelia. Anything for you, honey. Do we go together to get it, or you want to stay behind? I wanted her to go with me, sit beside me, and we go on gisting like lovers, but she said she wanted to stay behind and wait for me. I went inside my master bedroom, picked up my wallet, and told her I will be right back. She smiled and said she will be waiting. I rushed to my car, asked Matthew to quickly open up the gate, and I zoomed out of the compound to shawarma joint. A little traffic, but I did not spend up to 30 minutes, and I was back with her shawarma. When I got inside, the whole place smelled of cigarettes. She was not even in the sitting room. Music was blasting so loud. I quickly turned down the noise. The dining was scattered. I went closer and saw that the dining was really in a mess. She ate out of all the food that I left on the table. Both the local dish, the Chinese noodles, the continental dish were all touched. Half the chicken was even on my chair, and food oil was spread everywhere, both in the sitting room and on my dining room. The bottle of alcohol that was half empty before I left to get shawarma was now empty and lying carelessly on the floor. The cigarettes she smoked were under my table, with one leg of her high-heel shoe. My throw pillows were spread all over the sitting room. What the hell is all this? I didn't even know where to start from. My house looks unrecognized. Amelia had told me clearly she doesn't want any of the food on the dining, which made me to rush out to get the shawarma, but now she had eaten out of all the food. Spread oil, and pieces of food all over my house, and the curtains were not left out with the food oil. The sweet-smelling house before I left was turned upside down. She eating the food was not my problem, but messing up with my house was what I did not understand at all. Another leg of her high-heel shoe was on top of the cushion. She probably dropped it when she was dancing. Since she once told me that she loved dancing, I breathed deeply, dropped the shawarma on the table before entering my master bedroom, and there she was. She spread her leg wide on my bed. She was half naked, but my mind was too occupied to even notice. Some of the Chinese food was littered on my bed, staining my white bedspread. My wardrobe was open. I can't remember leaving it open. Something quickly caught my attention. The carton that came with my burgundy shoe was at the foot of my bed. My heart was almost popping out of my chest as I rushed to it and find it empty. I checked around until I saw my burgundy shoe. I gasped in relief. I repackaged it back to its carton. I picked up things that she left on the floor. Was this still the same lady I was crushing on and was ready to die for? Is this still the same Amelia or someone else? I asked myself while looking round my room. Messing up my dining and sitting room was not enough for her, but coming inside my room to scatter my personal things to the extent of bringing out my precious shoe. A shoe that was so close to my heart. What exactly was she looking for to have gotten to my burgundy shoe? I felt like shaking her awake from her sleep. I guess she was overfed and couldn't even lift herself. Since she wanted the food, why did she make me drive out in search of shawarma for her? I stared at her on the bed as she slept. I stood there not knowing what to do. I shake my head sadly, before going back to the sitting room and resume cleaning and brushing up again. I packed some food out to Matthew instead of throwing everything to the waste bin. I swept, cleaned, and brushed up everywhere. I was still on it when she came out, yawning loudly and scratching her hair roughly.
Hey Dan, you are back. When did you come in? I waited for you for over an hour, and I was too hungry. I couldn't wait anymore, and ended up eating some of the food on the dining. I also had a good dance, and I drank some more wine too. I was really exhausted, and I decided to find a road to your room where I relaxed. Was thinking you will wake me up whenever you come back. Did you get the shawarma?
Yeah, I did. Little traffic on the road, but I didn't spend up to an hour. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Did not want to bother you when I saw you sleeping. Your shawarma is on the table. She smiled, collected it without even a thank you. I went back to cleaning my house in a silent anger that I tried to hide. Amelia left that evening. She saw my mood and knew I wasn't happy with the way she messed up the whole house. My house had never been so unkempt, so scattered and dirty. Even my friends knows me for that. I don't like an unkempt place. It was so shocking that Amelia could turn the whole house upside down within an hour of me being away. She picked up her shoe from where I kept them and left. All I did was to walk her down to her car and bid her goodbye. I removed the curtains, the white bedspread that was stained with food oil, took it all to the washing machine, and changed them up with a new one. I did all the laundry, because I don't have a house help. I had never find it necessary to have one. But at a time like this, I started wishing for help. I scrubbed and cleaned until my house was back in order. I called Amelia that night to know if she had gotten home safely. I did not want it to appear like I was unkind to my guest. Not just my guest, the woman that I have always had a crush on, until she proves to me how much of a mess she can make within a twinkle of an eye. I called her, but she didn't pick up. I decided not to call again and slept off. 2 days later, I tried calling her, but she still did not respond. I began to feel guilty. Maybe I was too harsh or I overreacted. I sent her a message apologizing, and she quickly replied, telling me how I treated her like a ghost, just because of the little mess she made in my house. Amelia said she was actually testing me to know how much of a patient man I was, if I was what I claimed to be, but in her assessment, I wasn't anywhere close to being a husband material. That husband material she mentioned got me, and I started laughing at myself. How can she even be testing me by scattering up my whole house, even to the extent of getting into my wardrobe and bringing out my burgundy shoe? I can't be patient with such an ill attitude of hers, or did she want me to thank her for creating such a big mess in my house? I apologized to her anyway, and promised to make it up when next she comes. And after a week, she returned again on a weekend. I did not go through so much trouble in setting a large table of food for her like the last time. I may set up, and she will decide to change her mind and want something different. I will rather take her out to the best restaurant to eat. It will also save me some trouble. And that was exactly what I did. I drove out with her to one of the best restaurants. Amelia couldn't decide what exactly she wanted on the menu. After my order was taken, Amelia was still checking the menu. The waiter brought my food, and I was set to eat. She looked at me like a thief. "What's the problem, baby?"
Dan, it's very rude of you to start eating when I'm yet to make my own choice. That's so uncaring and bad.
I quickly apologized before straightening. I dropped my cutlery, sat back waiting for the queen to make a choice. When she finally did, it was 3 different types of meal and a cocktail inclusive. I kept waiting without touching my food until Amelia's food was served. She smiled at the filled table of different food all for her, and started eating. I gasped out in relief before picking up my fork.
Hold on, Dan, I want to taste yours.
She bent over the table to collect some of my own food. When she was done tasting, I resumed eating from the one she left over. I tried to engage her in a conversation, but she was too busy with her 3 different plates of food, and did not give me attention. I finished my food, and settled with the wine. She frowned again.
Dan, you were so uncaring. I wasn't done with yours. I still wanted to eat out of your own. Why did you finish it? That's not fair.
I swallowed hard, not really knowing what to do. I called the waiter to bring another plate of food, and he did. Since I wasn't hungry, I left it for Amelia. If she wants to kill herself with food, then she should go ahead. Amelia urged me to be eating, that she enjoyed the way I was chewing the food. I took the fork and picked at the food, took a little into my mouth, and chewed the food for a long time just to please her. I kept up with this boring act. All that matters was Amelia enjoys the way I chew, so I must keep chewing until I'm asked to stop. Pleasing Amelia by all means, I don't really have much choice in all this. She later asked me to stop picking the food, because I was messing it up for her. I was relieved and sat back, while watching her eat. When she was done, I paid up and picked up my car key, and Amelia took her handbag. Amelia left behind a large quantity of food that can feed 2 adults. She couldn't even finish 1 plate of food, but she made sure she touched all of the food placed before her. We got into the car, and she tries to lit a cigarette. No, don't do that. Come on, babe. Smoking in a car is so wrong. If that's what you do in your car, then it's high time you try and stop it, before something goes up in flames. I removed the cigarette from her hand. She did not argue. Instead, she turned up the music playing quietly in my car. The music was so loud that I have to scream to speak to her. I tuned the volume down, and she high it again. I gave up and drove back home with her. As we got into the house, she went all over me unexpectedly. In my mind, I was shouting, "Hey, calm down, please, don't do this. You're tearing me apart." But the words never made it past my lips. I wanted her to, but something stronger held me back, conviction. I was drawn to Amelia, no doubt. She was bold, confident, and clearly wanted me. But even more than I desired her in that moment, I desired to honor God, in myself. As she leaned in closer, her hands brushing my chest, I gently caught her hand and looked into her eyes. Amelia, please don't take this the wrong way, but I can't do this, not now.
What do you mean?
I mean, we shouldn't be doing this. I know it might sound old-fashioned, maybe even ridiculous to some people, but I believe that intimacy like this should be saved for marriage. I want us to do things right. If we're really going to be together, I want to build this relationship on a strong foundation.
Are you rejecting me, Dan?
No, I'm not rejecting you. In fact, I respect you too much to give in to a moment of passion. I'm choosing to wait. I hope you can understand that.
So what, you're a saint now? You think waiting till marriage makes you better than everyone else?
No, I don't. It doesn't make me better than anyone. It's just the path I've chosen. My upbringing, my beliefs, and my relationship with God matter to me. I want to honor that, and if you're truly the one, then you'll understand this decision. We'll have the rest of our lives together, but tonight, I want us to respect each other. She didn't say a word. Just walked out of the bedroom in silence. I breathed heavily, wondering if I'd just ruined everything between us. I knew it wasn't what she expected, but I also knew it was the right thing. The next morning, I woke up feeling physically well-rested, but emotionally drained. Amelia wasn't in bed. I stepped out and perceived the faint smell of cigarette. She was sitting in the bathtub, smoking, a bottle of whiskey beside her. "Are you all right, honey?"
How can I be all right, Dan? Last night, you embarrassed me. I gave myself to you, and you made me feel unwanted.
Amelia, it wasn't about rejecting you. It was about choosing what's right. I want to love you the way God intends. With patience, with honor, and with commitment. Not just with passion.
You're just like the rest of those holy pretenders.
I let her speak. There was no use trying to defend myself again. She walked out in my night robe, which was oversized for her, but she looks cute in it. I brushed, and had a quick warm bath. When I came out from the bathroom, she was blasting music in the sitting room, dancing and shouting out the lyrics of the song. I smiled to myself. Before proceeding to wear clothes, I noticed my wardrobe was scattered. I saw my shoe, the very shoe close to my heart. The pack was opened again. After putting on clothes, I tidied up my wardrobe, put back my burgundy shoe, locked it up, and removed the key. I don't understand what Amelia was searching for in my personal things. I don't play with my personal stuffs. And I hate it when I see somebody doing that. Nobody has any business going into my wardrobe without my permission. There are sensitive documents and files in the wardrobe locker, which shouldn't be tampered with. "Babe, did you go to my wardrobe?" She took the remote control, and reduced the volume of the music before asking me to repeat myself, and I did.
Yes, I went to your wardrobe. I was only admiring your shoe. The one you wore to Chris' wedding. You slept off, and I didn't feel like sleeping, so I decided to tour the house. I wanted to while away time and I got hold of your beautiful shoe. After admiring it for a while, I returned it back. Played around a little, before retiring to drinking and smoking a few sticks of cigarettes. Your shoe size is 44, Dan. The shoe is size 44. Which is exactly the same size with my poppy. I have been thinking of what to get for him for his next birthday, and while staring at your shoe, it quickly occurred to me to get a beautiful shoe like yours. He will really appreciate it. Yours is still very new, as if it have not been worn before, and well packaged. You are the first man that I have seen with such beautifully made shoe. Is very special and well crafted. I like it. You got eyes for good things, Dan, and almost the same way with my poppy. I will get something similar for him.
I thanked her for the compliments, but I was curious when she says getting a similar type of shoe for her poppy. I guess her poppy means her dad, and how will she get something similar, when it's obvious that the shoe is not common? I asked her what she meant. Do you plan to give professional shoemakers to make the same type of shoe for your dad, or something closely related?
I'm not saying it will be exactly yours. I said getting a shoe with the same size and pattern for him. I also saw the shoe polish, which is not commonly sold, I guess. Seeing your shoe gave me an idea of what I will get for my poppy's next birthday. I will also invite you when the time comes.
What will you like to have for breakfast?
Not yet, I'm not hungry yet.
Okay, let's have a seat. I will love to be at your poppy's birthday, honey. Anywhere you want me to go with you, I will be glad to. And I'm happy you love my shoe enough to get something similar for your poppy. Amelia, please don't be offended with what I'm about to say. I found out that when you scatter things, you find it difficult to put it back in order. Please take no offense, baby. I'm only trying to understand you, and you will understand my type of person too. I don't like when things are scattered or messed up, which was more reason I wasn't happy the last time you came. My wardrobe holds my personal stuff, and even my family don't get close to it.
So, what exactly are you getting at, Dan? Be open with me, and stop beating round. Or are you trying to say I scattered your house, and touched your personal stuffs? Are you trying to insult me in any way?
Amelia snapped at me angrily. I wasn't going to let her stop this conversation. I need to make her understand the rules governing my house, which was the same way my parents brought me up. I hate untidiness. Amelia was pretty, nice accent, classic babe, but I want more than this qualities or abilities that she possessed. I can't insult you, honey. I respect you so much, which is more reason we are having this conversation. I grew up among girls, and my mom did not exclude me in the house chores, despite I was a boy, the only boy. Our house was always well kept. I grew up with that, and try to maintain the same lifestyle in my house. While growing up, I don't do much chores, but I always keep my own room clean just like my sisters. Amelia, you are everything I want in a woman, but the only thing left is mutual understanding. Can you do me this few favor? No more wasting of food, no smoking, no mingling with my stuffs, no messing up the house, and reduce your intake of alcohol, please.
This is nonsense, real rubbish. Are you trying to tutor me? Give me rules. Do I look like a child to you, Dan? What sort of silly talk is this? I should be the one lecturing you on what I dislike, not you sitting here trying to act like some clueless lecturer to me. This is just nonsense. Goodness. Listen, I'm a classic woman. Men are the ones chasing after me. They're ready to do anything to have me. I don't chase after them, because I have them lined up. I'm wealthy, I've got a good life, and I can afford everything I need. Don't ever try to boss me around. The same way you grew up with a silver spoon, is the same way I was raised, except mine was golden. I have a better house than this. I grew up with housemaids attending to my every need. I travel to different countries, and live in a sophisticated home. Is this what you call a house? What exactly do you have that you won't let me breathe in peace? Last night, I wanted us to have fun, but you did your own thing instead of listening to me. Then you fell asleep after just a few hours, while I was still wide awake. You may be handsome and have a little money, but that doesn't give you the right to talk down on me. We're not on the same level. The only things I like in this house are that burgundy shoe that caught my eye the first day I saw you, and this decorative aquarium you have here. Nothing else. I've dined with men far more handsome and wealthier than you, so what exactly is making you feel so confident? Is it because I spent a night in this house of yours? If you're looking for a maid, go get one. If you can't handle my mess, if you can't keep up, if you can't tolerate my personality, then you're not man enough. You're certainly not ready to be anyone's husband. Let me get out of here before you ask me to wash your dishes. I was testing you, but just look at how you're failing all my tests. Who are you to tell me how to live my life? You're completely off track. Rubbish.
I was breathing heavily, mouth open, as Amelia lashed out at me with one insult after another. I tried to apologize several times, but she shut me down each time. I didn't want her to leave, but she angrily went into the room, picked up her things, changed into her clothes, and stormed out. She headed straight to her car, yelling at Matthew to open the gate for her. I went back inside and slumped hard onto the cushion, holding my head in my hands. I began to regret the entire episode. If I had known that confronting her would get her this upset, I would have just kept quiet and enjoyed the weekend with Amelia. Amelia was a beautiful woman. She had a great figure and carried herself like a queen. Her fashion sense was stunning, truly a slay queen. She was just my type physically, but in terms of character, well, I couldn't say for sure yet. I just wished she could be mine, but there were many things to consider. I couldn't judge her based on just 1 or 2 moments. She said she was testing me to see if I was husband material. I didn't quite understand what that even meant. I had apparently failed the first and second test. Maybe I could still prove to her that I was a gentleman, through and through. The next day, Sunday, I decided to wear my shoe to church for the second time. But I couldn't find the burgundy polish. I searched everywhere, but it was gone. How was that even possible? I had kept it carefully with the shoe. I couldn't take it anymore. I felt like I was losing my mind, so I called Amelia. If she didn't pick up, I planned to send a message, but she answered. I stammered a bit before asking if she'd seen the shoe polish. I had turned the house upside down looking for it, but it was missing.
The people that sold it for you must have used Jazz to collect it back, so that you can come back and buy more from them. I hope I won't get insulted for some stupid polish. Go and challenge the seller and ask them about your shoe polish. Don't call me for stuff like this except if you want to apologize for the way you treated me in your house yesterday.
I don't have time for Amelia's trouble, so I mumbled a few apologies to her before she ended the call. I was so angry that I couldn't wear my favorite shoe to church that day. Angry with no other person but the stupid sales attendant that sold the polish to me. First thing tomorrow morning, I will be in her store to give her a hard piece of my mind. Amelia was right about the seller trying to frustrate my life, because right now I feel so frustrated that the sales attendant who looks so calm has manipulated me. She acted as if she was doing me a favor. That sales attendant will hear from me tomorrow. After that, I will get a present for Amelia just to apologize for getting her pissed. I will definitely prove to Amelia that I'm a real husband material, and ready to pass any test she throws at me. I will try to tolerate her baggages. But she will have to avoid my wardrobe, most especially my favorite shoe. I don't joke with that shoe. But for now, I need to deal with that sales attendant first. She will have to provide another new polish for me, or I will make sure that she is sacked from her job. The next day, I drove down to the store to see the sales attendant. I did not meet her. I described her to her colleagues, and I was told she was sacked last month. I called one of the sales attendant outside. Why? What was her offense? I asked, not that I was really concerned, but I wanted to know if she duped or manipulated another victim into buying a wrong thing.
Is a long story, sir, but let me cut it short. The reason why she was sacked is because she left her duty post in search of a particular shoe polish for a customer in other stores. It's a burgundy color polish, and we don't have that particular one here. When my madam found out, she sacked her, and ever since then, I haven't heard from her. Please, sir, I have to get back to work. My madam must not catch me interacting with a customer freely during working hours.
I brought out some cash and hand over to her. She collected it and thanked me. She quickly ran back inside immediately she saw her madam coming. I drove off with a mixed feelings. It was obvious I'm the customer that got the girl into trouble, and she was sacked. I don't know if I should pity the sales attendant that was sacked because of me, or to pity myself because I may not get to the root of my missing polish. I went home, and while I lay in my bed that night, I couldn't sleep. I was stuck with this guilt that refused to go away, after discovering that the sales attendant who helped me did so at her own risk. She put her job in line, risking her source of living for my polish. Why didn't she mention it to me? Why was she calm and acted all cool when she wasn't fine? Why will I even accuse her for the disappearance of my polish after she strived to get it for me? I felt stupid to have even imagined that she may know why my shoe polish got missing. Even if she was a witch with ability to appear and disappear, she would have taken more than the polish. She may even hurt me in the process, but she is not a witch but ordinary girl with a charming smile, who was kind enough to help me when I urgently needed help. Since the polish cannot develop legs and run away from the house, is either somebody took it, or is still in this house, maybe hidden somewhere. Amelia cannot steal, she is too big for such. Amelia has everything, she is a classic lady, she is beautiful, has a car, live comfortably and well pampered. Why will she even steal a polish and leave the shoe? It doesn't even make sense at all. I tried to think less and catch some sleep, but when I couldn't, I decided to pick up my phone and started browsing. I checked WhatsApp, scrolled down to the sales attendant, and began to check her display picture. She looked so ordinary but had a certain air around her. She appears calm. I wanted to say hello, but stopped myself from doing that. She may even be angry at me for making her lose her job, so it is better I let her be. I felt stupid again watching her picture continuously. I quickly closed it and moved to something else, until I finally slept off. During the week, I got to see Amelia often. She also came over on weekends and would always leave a big mess behind for me to clean. Amelia had gotten into my head. I had completely fallen for her beauty, elegance, and figure. Whenever she visited, I made sure to keep my wardrobe locked. I couldn't risk her going in there and scattering my things. On several occasions, I wanted to wear my favorite shoe out, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. It needed a little polish to bring out its shine, and the missing burgundy polish made that impossible. I had almost forgotten about the polish altogether. I only wished I knew where that sales attendant had gotten it from. If I did, I would have driven there myself to get another one. That frustration finally pushed me to call her one day. She picked up after the second ring. I cleared my throat, trying to sound serious and composed.
Hello, sir. Hello. Good evening, sir.
She greeted me again. Her voice was so clear and tingled in my ear that I began to wish I will remain on the phone talking with her. Yes, are you the sales attendant that works in a superstore, who I sent to help me with a shoe polish months ago?
Yes. Yes, sir. I'm the one, but I'm not working there anymore.
Okay, I lost the polish you got, and haven't seen it up till now. It disappeared suddenly, which made me wonder if you were behind the disappearance.
Excuse me, sir, what do you mean by that?
Never mind, I need same type of polish. Can you describe the place you got it, or should I send money to you to help me get it?
I will describe the place for you, sir. It's actually far, but you will get it there. It's one of the biggest shoe store. They import their polish, so you can always go there and get your stuff.
She described it, but I didn't want her to leave yet. I liked the sound of her voice, and was ready to listen to it all day.
Sir, I'm searching for a job. I can do any type of legal job, as far as it pays me at the end of the month or week. Both cleaner, sales representative, a nanny, a chef, or office assistant. Any job, sir, I'm ready to do it. Since I lost my job, I have not been able to secure one with a good salary. So, please, sir, if you see any vacancy, even if it's in your office area, don't hesitate to let me know, and God will bless you.
That guilt feeling crowded my mind again. She was supposed to curse me, insult me, and remind me of how I made her lose her job, but she didn't. Maybe because I never bothered to ask. She was cool, and acted so innocent. I don't have vacancy in my office. I only have 3 staff in my company, and I never bothered to check for vacancy before. Even if I see one, I will not put interest, because it's irrelevant, but because of this sales attendant, I will ask around for her. After the conversation, she thanked me, and I ended the call. Amelia later came the following weekend. Whenever I'm with Amelia, nothing else matters to me. I try to satisfy my woman to the best of my ability, even though she still complains and calls me names, but I take it as a compliment. After Amelia left that day, the house was scattered. She was getting comfortable with leaving my house messed up, creating work for me to do unnecessarily. I was tired of doing chores. Amelia said I should get a maid the last time I complained, and that's what I will do. I will look for a decent hard-working maid to help me with the house chores, and to make sure the house is in perfect order. The housekeeper will be cleaning Amelia's mess. Instead of me doing it all the time, I smiled at the suggestion and began searching online for a matured house help, and that was when I remembered her. The sales attendant needed a job, and I got one right here, but I have a double mind calling her. I don't know if it is okay to call her and offer her the job of taking care of my entire house. I will pay her a good salary, and she will also live in my house and go home only weekend if she want to. I held the phone in my hand thinking of my next move and wondering if it is a good idea to have the sales attendant under my roof. The first mind wanted me to call her because she seems decent, honest, and hardworking. Another mind wanted me to rather get made online instead. I held my phone as my mind battled. I summoned courage and called the girl. "Can you work as a cleaner and a cook for me?"
Sir, do you mean like a maid?
Not precisely a maid. I mean like a housekeeper, a chef, and having a total affair of my house. Is that okay with you?
Of course, sir. It is very okay, but I need to know how much salary you are willing to pay.
I told her the amount, and she went quiet, and later said,
Are you serious, sir? Wow. Yes, I'm ready to resume anytime you want me to start.
"How about saving you the stress of transporting to and fro every day by letting you live in my house? You can pick your day off within the week or during the weekends."
Wow. Oh my goodness. Is this for real? I'm so grateful, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I won't disappoint in my duties.
I ended the call and sent her my house address and the day she will be resuming. I also asked her to bring her curriculum vitae while coming. That will enable me to know who I'm dealing with. She came the following week with a bag containing a few of her things. She handed her CV to me. I kept it on the center table with the hope to check it later. I showed her the room she will be sleeping, which was a visitor's room. I took her around the house and showed her different things and how to carefully handle some of the sensitive household appliances. She looked so excited throughout the introduction. I even introduced her to Matthew the gate man. I asked her to make a chart for weekly food. As I turned to leave, she called my attention.
Excuse me, sir. Please pardon my question. Are you married, or do you have kids?
Did you see children's stuffs in this house? Why did you ask?
I'm really sorry, sir. Please don't be offended. The house settings look more like a family house. It's well furnished, equipped with different things. Like the aquarium in the living room, it's beautiful, and I haven't seen such before. Everything is really beautiful in here, and that was what prompted my question. But let me get back to work. I'm sorry for asking, sir.
She went back drawing a chart in an A4 paper. I cleared my throat, and she looked up at me and quickly looked away. I'm not married, and do not have kids yet, but my woman comes around once in a while. Whenever she comes, make sure you attend to her, and do whatever she asks of you. I know she can be over-demanding, but do all you can to please her.
All right, sir. I will do exactly that. Thank you once again for giving me this opportunity.
What's your name?
Zoe, that's my name, sir. Everything you need to know about me is in my CV.
I quietly nodded before walking away. Amelia usually comes over on Saturdays, and whenever she does, she spends the night and leaves the following day. When Amelia came and saw Zoe, she wasn't pleased.
Why will you employ a mature girl as a maid? You could have gotten a boy, not a girl.
Come on, Amelia, she is my housekeeper, not a maid. Why the discrimination? Besides, gender doesn't matter to me. All that matters is that she does the job she is employed to do.
Okay, fine, whatever. I don't really care, just don't cheat on me with a common maid.
What? Why will you even imagine that I will do such? What do I need in another woman when I have it all in you? You are very beautiful, you are classic babe, and so smart. What else will I be searching for?
I'm happy to hear you say that. I know I can trust you.
Zoe was active in her duty. She cleaned, washed, ironed, goes to the market to buy foodstuffs, and she was a good cook. I did not bother about the mess Amelia was always creating, because Zoe was good with her duty. Zoe serves Amelia all she demands, and does all she was asked to do. Zoe never takes offense in Amelia's ill treatment to her. She ignored and tried not to disappoint me in her duty. I woke up one early morning to a serious shout in the house. I checked the time, it was 4 a.m. I flew out of bed, and rushed to where the noise was coming from, which was Zoe's bedroom. Amelia was the one screaming down curses on her. Zoe's body was dripping wet with water. What is happening here?
Can you imagine this fool, this lazy house girl? I woke up and felt like taking fried plantain with egg sauce. I called her to wake up and prepare the food for me and she said okay. It's over 30 minutes, I thought the food was ready, only for me to come out and meet her sleeping again. I decided to wake her up with a bucket of water, since she is too lazy to get up and make my food.
I was totally pissed with Amelia, but I decided not to scold her in front of Zoe. I lead her into my room. Baby, you poured her a bucket of water just to wake her up. Why will you do such? Zoe slept late where she was busy cleaning and washing up all the messed up house which you accumulated in the afternoon. After the day work, the least she deserves is a quiet night's rest. Why will you still go to wake her up by 3 a.m. to make food for you? That's unfair. Is totally wrong.
How dare you support that lazy fool instead of me? She is a maid, and should be ready to serve at any point in time. You stand here and defend that lazy girl. Dan, at the first sunlight, I will leave here. I can't tolerate this embarrassment coming from you.
I tried to calm her down but she refused to be calm. I moved to the kitchen and saw Zoe. She has changed up her wet cloth, and was frying plantain for Amelia. She turned and saw me.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't even know when I slept back after she woke me. I shouldn't have slept off, because I signed for this job to make sure Madam Amelia is always satisfied. I failed in my duty to her and I apologize.
How can she even be apologizing after Amelia bathed her with water in her sleep? It saddens me, but here she is trying to serve Amelia, despite what she did to her. I began to wonder what kind of soft and patient heart Zoe possesses. She was truly a rare human, overflowing with kindness. I couldn't utter a word, I just went back inside. This wasn't the first time Amelia had been harsh to Zoe, who would still apologize each time, even after being shouted at. Amelia left angrily that morning, without even touching the plantain and egg sauce she had woken Zoe up to prepare. She didn't touch the food, she just left. I knew she would probably spend a week giving me the silent treatment, before finally coming to her senses. That Sunday afternoon, after Amelia had left, I found Zoe sleeping in the kitchen. I guessed her mattress was soaked from the water Amelia had poured on her while she was asleep, which must have forced her to come to the kitchen to rest. I reached out to touch her, but pulled my hand back. After taking a deep breath, I gently touched her again, but she didn't wake up. I called out her name twice and she woke up. She stood apologizing again for sleeping in the kitchen. My house has 3 bedrooms with a big sitting room. So I asked her to go and sleep in the second master bedroom, which was connected to my room. She hesitated and said instead, she will go and sleep in her room like that. I insisted, because I know her bed was still wet, and she can't sleep on it, or she will catch a flu. It took time before she agreed to go. I watch her walk past me, and I quickly stop her. Zoe, I'm sorry about what my woman did to you. Her actions shouldn't be justified, and I'm glad you didn't respond all through her outburst of anger. She doesn't know better. My woman grew up in the means of maids answering to her every needs. Don't hate her for any reason. It wasn't her fault making you sleep by midnight, or waking you up by 3 a.m. to cook for her. Is her upbringing. Do all you can to please her whenever she is around.
All right, sir.
I took another deep breath, wondering what was wrong with me. Zoe is very special, and I'm beginning to have a soft spot for her. Amelia is my woman. I cherish her beauty, her class, and her high league. But Zoe is modest, different, and filled with kindness. I drove out that evening for some fresh air, and to clear my head, while Zoe sleeps in another master bedroom connected to mine. I thought of Amelia. She is still not taking my calls, which was her usual way. She will come around after 1 week. I wish I knew exactly where Amelia lives. I could have gone down to see her. I have tried to get to know where she lives, but she told me that her puppy do not like visitors, and time will come when she will introduce me to him. I didn't push or argue, but I'm beginning to wish I actually knows where she lives, so that I can also go and see her and meet her puppy. She was planning on getting my type of shoe for her puppy's upcoming birthday. She said I will be invited to the big birthday party when the time comes, and I will get to meet her puppy. It's something that I look forward to. I drove around a little before going back home. Zoe was sitting by the gate with Matthew when I drove in. Matthew was telling her a story, and she was laughing. She quickly went inside as I drove in. I called Matthew asking him what they were talking about.
Sir, Miss Zoe asked me to share stories about my people from the north. While I was telling her, she started laughing. Sir, Miss Zoe is a much better woman than Madame Amelia.
I hushed Matthew and told him to get back to his duty post. When I went inside, Zoe was setting dinner for me on the dining table. Did you rest well?
Yes, I did, but I couldn't sleep for long in that big bed. I'm grateful, sir.
She had a warm and lively presence about her. I smiled and sat at the table to eat. She rarely stayed close whenever I was eating. Have you eaten? If not, bring your food and eat here at the dining table. She hesitated for a moment, before finally bringing her food to the table. She was shy, but she needed to get comfortable around me. As we ate in silence, I lifted my eyes from my plate and looked at her as she ate. She sensed my gaze, looked up briefly, then stood from the table, with the excuse that she needed to get something from the room. I finished my meal, stood up, and went to my room to rest for the night. As I lay on my bed, only one thought consumed me. Only one person filled my mind. I couldn't think of anything else except this special woman. The malice period ended earlier than I thought. She called on the second day and I took her out over the weekend. Amelia continues to taunt Zoe, and I try to take charge of things. Amelia do not have a job, but she is living large, because of her puppy's wealth. Her puppy gives her all she wants, and I also made sure she lacks nothing too. I always wanted to be there for her at all times, but not during my working days. I'm usually in the office within the week, and hardly have time for other things aside office work. I also help my dad in updating his agricultural products on his websites. I follow it up whenever I'm less busy. Despite Mum's school was in good hands, I still visit once in a while. My mum sometimes calls me to do some school signing on her behalf. I'm her next of kin, and also signatory to her account. While she was away in the USA, I was busy with some of her proprietorship work. I always have a lot to do for both my mum and dad during my spare time, and also for myself. I run my own company, and made sure that I attended to everything according to how important they come, and I speak with my parents almost every day, giving them updates, and they don't fail to fill me in on their activities. It's mostly weekend that I have time for my rest, and be with Amelia. She wanted me to take her out during the week, but I was too busy to do that. Amelia refused to understand, even after explaining my busy schedules. She said she wanted to eat out, and not Zoe's food.
Your maid is a terrible cook. She doesn't know how to cook or do anything. Her food is tasteless. I would rather eat out than eat her horrible food.
Amelia said that Zoe does not know how to cook. She hates her cooking, and wants to eat in one of the best restaurants that I usually take her to. I have to leave the office early to do her bidding. She ate to her fill and said she will be away for some time. She was traveling with her puppy, and will return after 2 weeks. Traveling to where?
Poppy is going for a business meeting in Dubai, so he wants me to go with him. That's the advantage of being a daddy's girl. He enjoys having me around, and I can't say no to him.
You hardly mention your mom and sibling. Why? Your dad sounds interesting and lively. I wish to meet your puppy and the rest of your family members soon, and to also know your place. When will that be?
Maybe when I return from my Dubai trip with Poppy. I will invite you over to my place. You will get to meet him, and also know where I reside. I'm the only child of my parents. Though they are separated, Mom remarries and I'm left with Poppy. So it's just me and him for now. I have a good news.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, I'm letting go of cigarette. I'm breaking free from that addiction. I understand how much you hate it, and it's danger to my health, so I'm quitting. For real. But will remain a friend to alcohol.
I'm so happy to hear that. I care about you, and I love you, do you know that? I'm serious, you are a beautiful lady, smart and classy, you shouldn't be smoking, it's really dangerous. Yours have become an addiction, which is bad. I tried talking to you about it several times, but you refused listening. And I'm happy that you are finally calling it quit.
I love you too, Dan, everything about you. Your handsome face, the way you speak, act and dress. I love your high taste too. Just imagine that beautiful aquarium and your burgundy shoe, it clearly shows that you are also classy like me. But aside all this, I love you, and I have quit smoking because of you. I don't even have any cigarette with me. I trashed everything I had. I can never go back to it, never ever.
I was happy and relieved to hear that. I drove back home with her, and saw that Zoe had already set up the dining for dinner, but I told her we were not eating dinner, because we ate out. Amelia interrupted that she was going to eat dinner.
The restaurant food wasn't enough, and it was not what I really felt like eating.
I was quiet looking at her as she moved to the dining, and instead of dishing out the food to a plate, she was eating it directly from the bowl. I looked at Zoe's straight face, as she watched Amelia spilling food and oil all over the place, and creating more cleaning job for Zoe to do that night. I remembered Amelia saying that Zoe's food was terrible, but here she was, filling her mouth with it, munching it as if her life depends on the food. I left her and went to the room to freshen up for the night. Amelia did not shower, she flew into the bed when she was done eating. Baby, you need to take your bath.
I'm not smelling. I bathed this morning, and I'm too tired to bathe again. Your over neatness is too much. Please don't disturb me with bathing tonight. I have been wanting to ask you, why are you always locking your wardrobe? Don't you trust me?
I trust you, and I'm not locking it because of a trust issue, I just don't like seeing my personal things scattered. She urged me to always leave it open, and promised not to scatter anything in my wardrobe again. I wanted us to chat in just a bit before going to bed, but she asked me not to disturb her. I left her and even apologized for disturbing her. She was busy with her phone, and went on chatting. It was a good time to check my email for updates. I took my laptop and did the little I can, before returning to bed. Amelia was still chatting and laughing with whoever she was on the phone with. Her phone rang and she spoke for some time and went back chatting. I went out to the sitting room where I was hearing the television sound. Zoe was watching a Christiananimation movie. She wanted to leave immediately that she saw me, but I told her to stay. I sat opposite her, and we watched together. I relaxed my head back on the sofa. I was falling asleep, and within a second, I was gone into the dreamland when a heavy bang woke me up. I quickly stood up and saw Amelia. She just slapped Zoe, who was standing and holding her cheek. The movie Zoe was watching was still showing on the TV. I rubbed my eyes just to understand what was going on. Amelia, what is it again?
You are her boss, why will she be sitting down watching television with you? She is very disrespectful and mannerless. Dan, this your maid is very stupid and lazy. You left me in the room and came out to watch television with a common maid, a nobody. A useless girl with no brain.
She slapped Zoe again, harder this time. I rushed to her, and tried to lead her away, but Amelia wasn't done. She pushed the poor girl, who was almost falling, but had to hold on to a chair. Amelia wasn't backing down. She was about to strike again, when Zoe caught her leg, causing Amelia to fall to the ground with a heavy thud. I was shocked as Zoe climbed over her, pounding her like a pestle on a mortar. She slapped and hit Amelia repeatedly, ignoring her screams. Amelia was on the ground and tried to get free from Zoe's powerful arms. I had to quickly intervene. I pushed Zoe away from Amelia. She was panting angrily, as she looked at Amelia, who was crying and shouting down curses on Zoe. I carried Amelia up, but she wasn't even ready to stop the fight. Her mouth was bleeding, her eyes were swollen. I took ice from the freezer and gave to Amelia for the swollen eyes, but she threw it at Zoe. I held Amelia tight and started leading her to the room.
Leave me, Dan, leave me alone, let me deal with that lazy maggot. Let me show this ugly stinking maid the stuff I'm made of. Look at what she did to me, she used that her wretched hand to tear my lips. She is dead tonight. I will kill and bury her and nobody will ask of her because she's a nobody. She lay a finger on somebody of my caliber, I'm on a high class that she can never attend to. She is not even worthy to be called my servant, yet, she had the guts to lift her poverty hand on me. I will beat her before getting her arrested. Dan, leave me alone, let me deal with your foolish house help.
I took Amelia inside the room and locked the door, preventing her from going out. It was obvious that Zoe was powerful, and will beat her up, if she is allowed to do that. I was angry at everything and everyone, both at Zoe and Amelia. Zoe especially for beating Amelia up, and making her to sustain injury. Amelia kept jumping up and down the room with different threats for Zoe, and even had to transfer her aggressions on me. She took a cigarette from her bag, lit a stick, and started smoking, puffing out the smoke to my face. She lit up another stick, and kept pacing the room with it. I thought Amelia told me she was done smoking, and did not have any cigarette in her bag anymore. I was too tired from the whole night drama. I couldn't sleep that night, I needed to sleep for tomorrow's work, which was Friday, but Amelia's anger, cigarette and shout will not let me. She asked me to sack Zoe, and I told her I will do that. She kept up with anger until the following morning before leaving. As Amelia was leaving, she saw Zoe and rushed to her. She slapped and kicked at her, but Zoe used her hand to dodge the blow, and did not raise a hand on Amelia again. I went in between them, and led an aggressive Amelia out. I left for work without saying a word to Zoe, who stood like a statue, with her hand clapped together in front of her. She looks pitiable, but I wasn't in the mood to pity her for beating my woman up. Amelia left, and I went to work. I slept off during my working hours, because I couldn't get enough sleep last night. I worked late before going home that Friday. I was happy, because it was Friday, enough time to rest. When I drove into my compound, Matthew came to meet me.
Sir, the young madam says she wants to leave. She's already packed her bags and is waiting for you. She said you'll sack her because she fought with the madam of the house. Sir, please don't let her go. I'm begging you.
Matthew, return to your duty post and stop talking nonsense. I stormed into the house, and there she was, Zoe. Her bags were indeed packed, ready to leave. What is this?
I'm leaving, sir. I'm truly sorry for fighting with your woman. Anger got the best of me, and I sincerely apologize. I should have responded with patience and kindness regardless of the provocation. But after she kept slapping and kicking me, calling me all sorts of terrible names, I lost control. I retaliated out of frustration. I'm really sorry, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I was willing to serve and give my best, but I ruined it all by fighting Amelia, and she got injured in the process. Please forgive me. The month is almost over, just 5 days left. You don't have to pay me my salary for this month. I'll find another job elsewhere, and you can get someone else to take over. Thank you again, sir.
Return the bag. We'll talk tomorrow. I'm going to bed. The following morning, I counted her salary and came out with it. Her bag was placed in one corner of the house. She had cleaned the entire place, and prepared breakfast. She greeted me politely. I nodded and handed her the money. Her eyes lit up with joy as she thanked me. I headed to the dining table.
Thank you, sir. I'll be going now. God bless you for everything.
I'm not sacking you, Zoe. Return your bag. Come and take some money for Saturday's restocking. The fruits in the fridge are almost finished, and we need to replenish food supplies in the kitchen.
I thought you would sack me after everything that happened.
I said nothing and went back to eating. She thanked me repeatedly before quietly returning her things to her room. I knew Amelia would be furious when she returned from her trip and found that Zoe hadn't been dismissed. But I was glad she had traveled. I would deal with the situation when she came back. Truth be told, Amelia was at fault. Slapping that innocent girl for no valid reason was uncalled for. Zoe had been pushed too far and fought back. I couldn't sack her over something like that, especially not when she's hardworking and an excellent cook. Unlike the awful way Amelia keeps describing her. Before Amelia left for Dubai with her father, she was already in one of her moody, silent treatments toward me. That weekend, while working on my laptop in my room, I could hear Zoe singing joyfully in the kitchen as she prepared lunch. Later on, she carried some food out to Matthew. I opened my curtain and saw Matthew's face brighten the moment he saw her approaching. He grinned from ear to ear, proudly displaying his uneven brown teeth. He began singing one of his usual northern folk songs. I was already familiar with the tune and lyrics, he sang it often. Zoe clapped and laughed as Matthew performed for her. Suddenly, my smile faded and a frown formed on my face. Why was Matthew getting so close to Zoe? What sort of nonsense was that? A pang of jealousy hit me. I stood up and walked out. The moment they saw me, their cheerful duet ended abruptly. Zoe returned inside. I followed closely behind her and said, "I know Matthew can be quite entertaining, but stop spending so much time with him. After giving him what you need to, come back inside and stay. Your duties are here, not at the gate."
I'm sorry, sir. Your lunch is ready on the dining table.
I nodded. She inhaled deeply and walked into her room. Immediately, I began to regret my reaction. Maybe I should have allowed her to enjoy the moment with Matthew. He was just trying to cheer her up. I had genuinely enjoyed watching her smile. Clearly, Matthew was one of her biggest fans. Why did I interrupt their happiness? Because of some stupid jealousy. What's wrong with me? I picked up a plate of fruit salad, grabbed the remote, sat on the three-seater couch, and changed the TV channel to one of Zoe's favorite Christiananimation channel. I'd seen her watch it many times. I turned up the volume, hoping she'd hear the familiar sound and come out to watch. Even though it might seem awkward, I just wanted to hear her laugh again. Just like she was doing earlier with Matthew. I'm starting to care too much about her. It doesn't feel right. Yet, I can't help it. I waited, but she never came out, and I dozed off on the chair. When I woke up, it was midnight, 11:46 p.m. I went straight to bed, and was out with friends the following day. I came back in the evening and Zoe was in her room. She came out and greeted me. I asked her what was on the food menu for the night. She mentioned spaghetti. I told her to make fruit salad for me, which was what I felt like taking. She quickly did, and brought it to where I sat watching TV. My eyes was on her all through, as she served me before leaving. I swallowed hard and looked at her direction. She was going back to her room. "Zoe, are you busy?"
No, sir, I don't have anything doing right now. Do you want me to do something for you, sir?
I want you to. I just wanted to ask you if. Why can't I boldly tell her that I wanted her to watch the TV with me?
To do what, sir? What do you want me to do for you, please?
I want yam with vegetable and fish sauce. Forget what is on the menu, let's eat yam instead. Do you care for that too? That wasn't what I wanted to say, but I changed my mind because the word will not come out straight.
Anything is fine by me. Let me go and get it ready, sir.
While she was in the kitchen, I was busy with a music program showing on the TV. My mind was on Zoe, and I couldn't concentrate. I strolled down to the kitchen side and stood by the door watching her without her knowledge. She almost dropped the plate in her hand when she turned and saw me.
Oh my goodness, you scared me. Do you need anything, sir?
What will I even tell her brought me to the kitchen? I'm sorry to startle you, just trying to learn. I mean to watch you cook and learn too. She smiled and I know it came from deep within. I returned the smile and moved closer, as she began to teach me how to make a common vegetable and fish sauce that my mom taught me when I was still a teenager. I pretend to concentrate as she goes on with her lectures. I was distracted, and wasn't paying any attention to what she was saying, but I acted as if I was. Tell me about your parents. Are you the only child? Where are your family?
I have a great family, and they are all good. Thanks for asking.
She went back to what she was doing with a total silence. I assumed she was not interested in talking about her family, so I decided not to ask her anything personal. Maybe I will do that later. The yam was done, and the sauce was ready. While she dished out the yam into a deep plate, I dish out the sauce into different plates for both of us. She saw it and tried to argue, but I told her not to make any fuss out of it. I took the sauce to the dining, while she brought the yam. We sat and ate in silence. She was trying to get comfortable with me sitting beside her. I was pretending to be interested in the food, but my mind was on Zoe.
Are you the only child? I heard you speak to your mom and dad often. They love you dearly, and it makes me wonder if you are their only child.
No, I'm not. I have 3 elder sisters. If you listen to most of my phone calls, I speak with my sisters too. My parents relate with all my sisters the same way they do with me. Maybe a little more with me because I'm their only son. They just want me to turn out fine and be responsible. They sometimes treat me like a child, forgetting that I'm an adult. A full-grown man with bears. I laughed, and she joined in. That was what I always wanted, to hear her laugh. We talked about myself, my sisters, my parents, and my growing up, but she never talked about herself. Your turn, Zoe. Enough of me. Tell me a little about you.
Nothing much to say. I'm just one ordinary girl from a middle class. Your family class is higher than mine anyway. I love my mom, my dad, and my brother. I had a younger sister, but she's late. I feel bad anytime I remember that she is no more. Well, that's all.
Interesting. I'm sorry about your sister. I'm also sorry for making you remember whatever you're trying to forget.
It's okay, sir. You shouldn't be sorry. It's all in the past now.
I did not take my eyes away from her. She looked up at me, stood from the table, before coming over to clear my plate. As she went to the sink to drop the plates, I tried to control my heartbeat and the way I was feeling, but I couldn't help it. I walked towards her. I never knew she was about turning and she bumped into me. I held her in my arms, and we were motionless for some time, which seems like eternity. I was carried away, and I guess she was shocked. I did not let her go due to the hot emotions clouding my mind. I kissed her and she didn't respond. I tried again and she straightened and struggled to get free from my arm. I still refused to let her go immediately. With all the emotions stored up in my heart, I gently pinned her to the wall and kissed her passionately. My heart and hers were beating so loud, she struggled again, and I moved back from her. I released her and she disappeared like a lightning bolt. My heart was panting heavily. I folded my hand into a fist and hit the wall hard. I placed my head on the wall before combing my hand into my low-cut hair. I was restless. What did I just do? Oh no, I just kissed Zoe. Why will I do such a thing? Oh my goodness. I swallowed hard and walked back into my room. I refused to come out of the room. I was embarrassed at myself. How can I allow my emotions get the best of me? Amelia must not know of this, or there will be trouble. I wish I could undo the kiss. What have I done? I cried out angrily at myself. I have never allowed my emotions to get out of hand before. But it got the best of me that evening. I stored up too much in my heart for her, and couldn't resist the urge of kissing her. I went to work very early the following day just to avoid Zoe seeing me. I was too shy to even face her, and I guess she was also, because she stayed in her room, and I did not hear any noise coming from her. I got to the office and couldn't concentrate. My mind was on Zoe and what happened the previous night. I try to focus, but my mind keeps leading me back to Zoe. I stood and walked around the office. I look out from my office window, replaying the whole kissing scene on my mind. I rubbed my 2 palms together, and returned to my sit. I went back working. I could have given my staff some of the work, but I chose to do it just to while away time. My stomach churns with a sound, and I remembered that I haven't eaten all day. I stood and went to my office fridge, took the food I stored there and microwaved it, sat back and tried to eat, but the hunger disappeared. I hungered for no other food than the one prepared by Zoe. Night came, and all my staff left. I remained in the office and kept working. When the clock ticked 9 p.m., I stood, packed up my stuff, picked up my car key and left. When I got home, I stood at my door. I held onto the doorknob, counting numbers, and mustering the courage to walk in, face Zoe, and apologize for what happened. I was acting like a coward, and that is not the real me. I have never behaved so stupid, and felt so embarrassed. I walked in and she greeted me cheerfully.
Good evening, sir. I was worried when I checked the time and it was almost 9 p.m. and you haven't returned. I tried calling you, but changed my mind. I set up dinner. I guess you will be hungry.
She was acting as if nothing happened last night, making me feel like I was dreaming when I kissed her. Zoe stood right in front of me, leaving a little distance between us. She made me feel at peace. All the heavy burden was suddenly lifted. I decided to use the opportunity to talk to her. About last night, I'm sincerely sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry, Zoe. It will never happen again. Please look at me. Look up, Zoe. I promise, it won't happen again. Do you believe me?
I do, sir. I believe you.
I went back to my room and freshened up before coming out for dinner. After dinner, I went straight to bed. 2 days later, I returned from work very early. I wanted to take over the dinner, so I asked Zoe to stand aside and let me do it for the night. She laughed while asking me to go ahead. I made dinner for both of us. I asked her to take a taste, and she licked up her lips and moaned, "So delicious." I laughed and moved out of the kitchen, giving her room to clean up the dishes. I asked her to join me on the dining. We did not make eye contact, just concentrated on our food. I was secretly struggling not to. I finished my food and walked away. She went to bed after clearing up, and I remained in the sitting room watching TV until I slept off and woke up by 10 p.m. I stood and started walking towards my master bedroom. A noise was coming from Zoe's room. I paused and went closer, and leaned my ear to her door. Zoe was talking to someone over the phone.
Seriously, I'm fine, stop worrying about me. I assure you. I'm fine. Yes, I'm working, and making my own money. It makes me happy. Like I told you earlier, I got sacked from my previous place and later got another, this. As a housekeeper. Does it really matter? All that matters is that I'm happy working. I know. And I love you too. I really love you, but you have to allow me to do this. My boss is a gentleman. Come on. Your thinking is weird. Stop it, Jeff. Please, I'm waking up early tomorrow. I've spent 2 hours talking over the phone with you. My ear is paining me. I have to sleep now, please. Sure, I will definitely do that. I love you, Jeff. Be good and stay away from trouble. Always. Say hello to.
I quickly walked away to my room, and did not hear the rest of her conversation. I felt heartbroken hearing her speak to somebody I assumed is her man. I was really sad and stuck in my bed like a child beaten by his mom. I wish I did not eavesdrop on her conversation with her man. Now that I did, I felt worse with myself. It just dawned on me that Zoe was in a relationship, and she loves the guy. She boldly declared it to him. The guy whose name happens to be Jeff seems to have issues with her living and working under a man's roof. I tried to get over the hurt by sending a message to Amelia, but she didn't reply. I can't think straight. Why has Zoe been in a relationship makes me so sad and lost of appetite. I needed to occupy my mind with something else before I go crazy. I wish Amelia would speak with me, but she was in Dubai with her puppy, and did not have my time either. The only thing I'm struggling to get over was Zoe, and just realizing she was in a relationship was heartbreaking. I wonder if I'm really normal. How can I be worried over that, when I'm also in a relationship with Amelia? What is wrong with me? But no matter how I tried to console myself, I was still feeling hurt. The following morning, I was up early and left the house without breakfast again. The next weekend, I had initially planned to get her a few things that evening. I wanted to give Zoe all the gifts I had bought, sit with her, watch movies, and have a good time together. I wanted to start showing her that I truly cared, and that I no longer cared whether she had a man or not. But I didn't know Amelia would show up unexpectedly, surprising me. I had bought some feminine gifts for Zoe, which I hadn't yet given her, but Amelia took them all, assuming they were meant for her. I couldn't argue or take them back, because that would have raised suspicion. Are you all right? I watch her set up the table. Amelia started screaming my name so loud, asking me why I was delaying to join her in bed. I went into the room, and was happy that my wardrobe was still locked. If not, Amelia would have scattered it all. I later strolled out while Amelia was asleep, just maybe I will see Zoe in the sitting room, but she was in her room. I could hear a little whisper, and I wondered if she was on the phone with her lover again. Who is she whispering to by this time? I walked quietly to her door and leaned my ear again. I found out she was praying. She was in a serious quiet prayer. It was amazing, just the same way my mum usually prays in the midnight while everyone was asleep. It was the same way Zoe was praying. I heard her pray for her parents, she prayed for me, but I couldn't hear all the blessings she was calling down on my head, and immediately I heard her mention Jeff. I disappeared. I left and walked back to the room. Probably because I don't want to hear her say, "God, you know I love Jeff so much, blah blah, I don't care what the rest of the prayer will be, I don't want to hear anything about Jeff." But I felt at peace hearing her pray. I also love the fact that she believes in God, even though I'm not serious with my spiritual life, but I go to church, and I love God. My parents were believers, and they brought I and my elder sisters up in that way. I turned and looked at Amelia. She was sleeping. I wish that I can take back all those gift packs and return to Zoe, the rightful person that I got it for. I wish Amelia did not show up. She had claimed everything that wasn't even hers, and planned to give out some of it to her friends. That alone was annoying. I tried to catch some sleep, and in no time, I dozed off. I try to focus and act all professional with Zoe, especially now that I know she was in a relationship. After a week, Chris, my friend, stopped by my office to say hello. And we went talking like old friends. He was too excited, because he will soon be a dad. His wife was already expecting a baby. "I'm happy for you, man, that is a great news. I believe you are taking care of your wife very well."
I am. Ella is my queen, and I treat her as such. How about you? I believe work is going on fine. Any plan to settle down soon? My man, time is ticking. Although, I will not advise you to rush into marriage to avoid rushing out. Take your time and understand your partner. If she is the type you can spend the rest of your life with, then go on with it.
I told you about my present relationship with Amelia, didn't I?
Amelia. Amelia. Who is she? Sorry, man. I can't remember.
No problem. The first time I saw her was during a get-together that you and your wife pulled up. We the men were there, and your wife's friends came. We went drinking and dancing at the party. That was before your wedding. Amelia also attended your wife's birthday party where you proposed. She was there when you asked Ella to marry you. Amelia is one of your wife's friends, because it was during then I began to eye her. She was really beautiful and classic too. She looks so much like my type of woman, and I was crushing on her, but lacked the courage to approach her then, until during your wedding day. She noticed my shoe first. That my burgundy shoe that you also like. Yeah, and we got talking from there. She was cheerful and nice. We exchanged contact, and that was how we started.
That's interesting, Dan. Although I can't remember who she is, and my wife has never mentioned Amelia as a friend, I assume she must be a mutual friend, and probably came with one of my wife's friends. She may not be a direct friend, because I know almost all my wife's close friends. She jizzed me about everyone with their names, but never mentioned Amelia, who I believe is probably friend with someone we know. She must have followed somebody that knows my wife, and that's why you saw her during the get-together in our party often. By the way, I'm happy that you are taking a step, Dan. Is she a nice girl? Can you settle with her type of person, or you are just having fun and not ready for marriage yet?
I pulled back my head, searching for a perfect answer for Chris. He asked me if everything was fine, and I assured him I was okay, but my heart wasn't. Amelia is classy, she is damn beautiful, and has a fine shape. She has a wealthy father who she calls Poppy, and they traveled to Dubai for some business meeting 2 weeks ago. But I have fears. Amelia, coming from a rich home, believes everything should be done by a maid. I haven't seen her cook before, and as much as I try to teach her, she is not willing to learn. I don't really blame her because of her upbringing, and I wish she could come down to the level that I desire. Now, why I have fear is about the girl that works for me at home. Her name is Zoe. Chris, I'm going crazy because of that girl. My brain is almost pumping out of my head.
Dan, relax. God will not let your brain pump out. I get you, my man. Don't be confused, and don't disappoint, because your parents are watching and waiting. You are their only boy, and your choice matters to them and to us all. I personally want you to get it right. So why is Zoe bursting your brain out?
Chris, you won't understand. All I think of these days is Zoe. Did you know I got carried away one day and kissed her? I did. I wanted the ground to open that day and swallow me up. I couldn't believe I did that. Chris, I think she likes me too, but she has a boyfriend who she loves. His name is Jeff. I overheard her speaking to him the other day. I almost ran mad. I was so heartbroken when I heard her say she loved another guy. But if I'm being reasonable enough, Zoe has every right to be in a relationship just as I am with Amelia, but I hate the idea. I have never felt this way before. I care about her so much. And I don't.
You love her? I know you do not want to admit to that, because she is not in your class, but then you love that girl. Maybe what you had for Amelia is either infatuation or obsession, due to the fact she fit in perfectly well to your caliber. You admire Amelia, and have this passion to associate with her classy type, but the real deal is with your worker at home. Zoe may be who you truly love and not Amelia. Search yourself and be sure of what you want. Be bold and say your mind. Don't hold back. If it is Amelia you wish to be with, then get on with her, and if it is Zoe also, get on with her, but you must let one go. Stop being confused and know what you truly want in a woman. Beauty may fade, but a woman with a good character is like adding sweetness to life. Such woman is worth fighting over, except if she doesn't want you, or in a serious relationship. But if a God-fearing woman with a pure character shares the same feeling and ideas with you, then keep her. I mean, marry her and start a family. They're rare. It may not come so simple, but take every step at a time. Dan, marriage is not about riches, beauty, class or family status. It's far more than that. You know how I struggled through school? My wife was there. She came from a wealthy home, but my family are just surviving. She believed in me, and I try not to disappoint her. I graduated and got a good oil job that shot me out. I wanted to give Ella everything she will ever ask for. And I'm not stopping soon, because she remains my queen forever. more reason you should get a lady who believes in you, and is ready to stay with or without your money. It does not matter if she is from a high class or low one, all that matters is finding peace, trust, and satisfaction with your woman.
I listened to Chris as he speaks and I was thrilled. We drove out after work to chill in one of our usual cool spots, but he couldn't stay, he was so eager to go home and meet his wife. I asked him to say hello to her as we entered our different car and drove off. After talking with Chris that evening, I found my boldness, and I was willing to get this heavy burden off my chest. Chris was right, it's just that I do not want to admit to the truth. What I felt for Amelia is far different from what I have for Zoe. Zoe makes me happy, I enjoy watching her, and when we cook together, it was a beautiful moment. Her laughter softens my saddened heart. She was hardworking, beautiful in her own way, although Amelia is more prettier, but Zoe was far more special. Zoe is intelligent, respectful, kind and patient. She is loving and jovial. All these are qualities that Amelia does not possess. Amelia insults me, she was always in a malice mood with every little quarrel. She was violent, and does not know how to pick dirt up from the ground. She was possessive, and would rather scatter instead of arrange. She lacks home training, and hardly listens to me. I want more than that, and I really wish Amelia was like Zoe, possessing Zoe's qualities, but I know I cannot have it all. And I will go with what my heart beat for. For over 2 weeks, Amelia has refused to talk to me, and only replied to my message with few words. She was still angry. I know she had the right to be after the fight with Zoe, and she was beating up. Amelia cherishes vengeance and violence far more than peace, love and forgiveness. For the sake of my parents, for everyone who believes in me, and for my own sake, I just have to leave sentiment aside and choose wisely. I want to go home and cook something with Zoe, we will sit and eat together. Watch movies and have some good laughter. I wish to kiss her all over again, letting her know that she occupies my entire being, and I can't think straight because of her. I promise not to forcefully kiss her again, I will allow the feeling to be mutual. I want to know what she feels about me and Jeff. I will never force her to leave her man as much as I would want her to. She has the right to choose who she wants to be with. I will think of how to handle Amelia whenever she comes back again from her another Dubai journey. Right now, the only person I want to sit and laugh with is Zoe. I stopped at a female boutique and bought some beautiful dress, shoes and accessories for Zoe. I don't really know her shoe size, but I imagined the size of her feet, and knows what will fit into them. Since I love burgundy color, I asked the boutique owner if they have any shoe or sandals in such color, but they said they needed to restock. I should check back in 2 weeks' time, they will have different types of female shoes by then. I bought few beautiful ones for Zoe and left. All I wanted was to make her happy, to watch her laugh, and to let her know that I truly care. I was very excited as I drove back home. I removed all the things I bought for Zoe, and started carrying them in. I opened the door and dropped everything on the chair. Zoe was obviously in the kitchen, and I can perceive some fine aroma. I was about shouting out her name with a beautiful tone of voice, when I saw Amelia coming out of my room. Not again, when did she return without informing me? I was shocked. I opened my mouth and closed it again as she catwalked towards me. She approached me with a smirk smile on her face. I swallowed hard and tried to muster courage. I forced a smile and said, "Baby, when did you arrive? I did not see your car outside. How did you get here? You did not call me to let me know that you are back." She came and kissed me fully in the mouth, but I was so shocked to respond. She went to the things I bought for Zoe, smiling to herself, as she began to scatter just like her usual way. This is exactly who she is, and I'm not surprised. While scattering the things, she said,
"Well, I wanted to surprise you. I parked my car outside your gate. Probably you did not see my car. You got all this stuff for me again. You spoil me with too much gifts. Wow, interesting. Dan, you don't look too happy to see me. What is the problem? Don't you miss me?"
"I'm happy to see you, and I miss you. Welcome back. How was your business trip with your dad? Hope it was a success." She ignored and kept scattering. She tried the accessories, the earrings, and neck chain which all belonged to Zoe, the shoes, she also picked up another shoe.
"Dan, I don't like this color. is too dull, and even that dress is too long. There is no bum short here, no short jean skirt, no leggings. You know my style. Why do you buy all this without adding any bum short to it, and high heels too? The shoe is not even my size. You were supposed to know the color I love, my shoe size, and the type of dress that fits me perfectly. I don't wear all this dinner or church gown. I wear a tight and short gown that brings out my fine shape. Did you see what I carry on my body, both my front and back? Is called asset. I love showing off, I like revealing it to the world and watch them look at me like a goddess. I hate dresses that cover my thighs. My beautiful body is my asset, so I love flaunting it. If you know how many men that are ready to pay billions just to have this body, you will cherish it more. And stop behaving like a novice. Anyway, I will still take all this stuffs you bought. I will give out the shoes and some of the clothes to my friends, because I know the clothes and shoes are expensive. I will use the rest. I love those jewelries. Next time, if you want to buy stuff for me, don't disappoint me like you did today. I understand that you wanted to use all these gifts to beg me for watching your housemaid hit me on my face. You plan to surprise me with all this, but I'm not surprised, because this is a very low quality stuffs compared to what I got from Dubai, but I will take them all anyway, after all they are mine. I wonder why you haven't sacked that your maid. What is she still doing here? She was supposed to be gone by now, or you should have even gotten her arrested, but she is here and looking all fresh in your house. You should have beat the hell out of her for what she did to me, not let her live here. Anyway, you can leave her for now. Her presence is highly needed. I have forgiven her sins. I'm a loving person, but she is very useless, you know that, right? I asked her to make food for me, and it's over 30 minutes, and the food is yet to be ready. A very lazy thing that doesn't know how to do anything. Let me not get angry over that stupid low-life girl. I miss you, Dan. Come, let's go inside. Follow me right now. I have a lot of gist for you.
Amelia walked back to the room with all the gift packs belonging to Zoe in her hand. I was speechless all through the time Amelia was speaking. I had never expected to see her all of a sudden, and she really shocked me. I looked towards the kitchen side as Zoe dropped the food on the table. She looked at me, greeted, and I nodded with a smile. I began to hate the inhuman treatment that Amelia passed out on Zoe. She usually has a lot of work to do whenever Amelia comes around. Zoe was cheerful in her dealing, and she is hardly offended. I have planned that evening and wanted to give her all that I bought, sit and watch some movies and have a good laugh together. I wanted to start proving to her that I deeply care, but never knew Amelia will show up suddenly, surprising me. My mum was back, and Dad called me to travel down. I couldn't even miss out on that. I see my dad almost every month, but it has been a long time since I saw my mum. Ever since she traveled to the US, it's been over a year, and we've not seen, only through video calls. The next day, I prepared for my short journey. It was a relief to be away from Amelia for a while. She was going to stay with her puppy and help plan his birthday party while I was away. She told me his birthday was in 3 days. I explained that I wouldn't be able to attend because I needed to travel to see my parents. I expected her to be upset, but she wasn't. She just smiled and said it was okay, since her puppy wanted only family and a few close friends at the celebration. She mentioned that the party was strictly by invitation. Even though she would have loved for me to come, she understood that visiting my parents was important too. I nodded and sent my good wishes to her dad. I would have gotten him a birthday gift, but he's obviously a wealthy man with everything at his disposal, and I didn't have the time to look for something meaningful. Honestly, I was also relieved that Amelia would be away from Zoe while I was gone. I didn't want them in the same house. Amelia can be too violent, and I'm glad she'll be busy with her dad's birthday party instead. I traveled to see my parents. After all the hugging and doting from my mom, my dad and I had a father and son moment. He gave me some important documents he wanted me to keep safe. Mom said the reason she came was because my eldest sister was getting married. She also added that Dad missed her and wanted her home, and that she missed him just a little bit. I laughed at the two old lovebirds acting like new lovers. My sister Joan was getting married to a white colleague of hers who lives in Georgia, and it was going to be a court wedding. That meant we were all supposed to travel back to the States, but I had to stay behind to look after things while Mom and Dad traveled. I had a great time with my parents and made lots of video calls with my sisters, who were all trying to convince me to come over. They even started booking a ticket for me online. Joan said she wanted her friends to meet me.
My friends saw your pictures. Well, I showed them my cute, sweet brother that I'm always boasting about, and they all went, "Ah." They really want to meet you, Dan. Come on. You can't miss out on my big day. You might even spot a wife material among my friends. Don't give me all these excuses. Fly down with Mom and Dad, and let's all be together as a family. Gabi and Fiona will be here with their husbands and kids. It's the perfect opportunity for us to reunite. Don't be left out, Dan. Even my fiancé is eager to meet you. Everyone wants to meet my only brother. Please, try and come.
I wish I could be there, Joan, but I can't. We all can't just leave like that. If Dad is away, I need to oversee things while he's gone. I'm sorry, Joan. You have my best wishes, and I'll be waiting for lots of videos. I'll come after the wedding when everything is safe and settled. Definitely next summer, I'll come for vacation and get to meet everyone. Joan, please stop showing your friends my pictures, so they can stop all the, "Aw." I woke up the other day with lipstick on my picture, and realized one of your friends must have been kissing it. And somehow, it affected me in real life. Tell them to stay away, I'm almost taken. Joan laughed so hard during our video call, and I couldn't help laughing at my own dry joke too. Later, I had a deep conversation with Dad, and he basically echoed everything Chris had already told me.
Daniel, you're a grown man now. You need to start thinking about settling down and building your own family. I'm an African man. I want you to have children who will carry on the name. I'm not rushing you, son. I want you to take your time so you won't make a mistake. But don't take forever. We love you deeply, and want only what's best for you. All that matters to me and your mother is your happiness. Don't marry a troublesome woman. Don't look at social class or status when choosing a partner, look for purity of heart. Love alone is not enough in marriage. Trust, prayer, understanding, patience, and tolerance are what make a strong home. Your mother and I are growing old together because we made the right choice, choosing each other through better and worse, sunshine and storms. It hasn't been a smooth ride, but we're still together, and blessed to celebrate life with our children and grandchildren. We will continue to count our blessings and name them one by one. Daniel, listen to me. I'm your father. I will never mislead you. An understanding wife is the greatest blessing a man can have. Do you understand me?
Yes, Dad, I do. I truly understand. I'm working towards that, just taking my time, so I can get it right like you did. I hope and pray to make you and Mom proud. I also had a wonderful time with my loving mom. We laughed, we talked, it was beautiful. Dad decided to take us sightseeing. I offered to drive, but he insisted. He said driving was his little way of exercising. He chose to drive his old Highlander, the one that needs to be jacked up before it starts, despite owning a smaller, newer car. He claimed he was the only one who knew how to handle that car. I laughed. Mom laughed too, especially watching how he wrestled with the steering wheel. I went to church with them, and Mom made one of her classic delicacies, just like the old times. After a week, I traveled back to my base. I didn't want Amelia to know I was back because I wanted to spend some time with Zoe. I might even take her shopping again, when I'm sure Amelia won't be coming around. But the moment I stepped into the house with my bag, something immediately caught my eye. The space where my aquarium used to be was empty. I walked closer, hoping Zoe had simply moved it somewhere else, but it was gone. Zoe came out and greeted me cheerfully, but I didn't even respond. I was too distracted, scanning the whole place for the aquarium. I rushed to my room, praying maybe it had been moved there for some reason, but instead, I was met with another shock. My wardrobe was unlocked. The key was broken. My heart raced. Was there a robbery while I was away? The first thing I did was check for my burgundy shoes, the one my uncle sent from the UK. I felt a brief wave of relief when I saw them. But then, as I took a closer look, this is not my burgundy shoe. What the hell is this? I grabbed it, examining it with trembling hands. My heart pounded. It wasn't the original. It was a cheap, fake replacement. I began to sweat. I screamed Zoe's name, and she came running. What happened here? Who came into my wardrobe while I was away? Where is my aquarium and my original shoe? Answer me.
I don't know, sir. I swear I don't. I went to the market that day, and when I returned, the aquarium was gone. I asked Matthew if anyone came by, and he said Big Madam came and left in a hurry. I thought you sent her. I would have called you otherwise. Please believe me, I can't lie to you.
That explanation only infuriated me more. What kind of ridiculous story was that? How could she not know? I ripped off my shirt, sweating and furious, now in just my singlet. Amelia was a big girl, she would never steal from me. Her dad was rich, she could afford anything. I was in complete disbelief. Zoe, who was supposed to be in charge, had no clue. How? I lost control. I started pacing, kicking, acting like a madman. I lifted my bed, pushed it aside in a frenzy. In the process, I broke a lamp holder. Then, something under the bed caught my eye. I rushed over. It was my old polish, the one that came with the shoes from the UK. The one I had searched for everywhere and never found. I had no idea it had been under the bed all this time. But the second polish, the one that went missing recently, wasn't there. And the real burgundy shoe, still gone. I screamed and flung the UK polish across the room. Zoe ducked to avoid it, tears now pouring down her face. I was breathing heavily, like someone possessed. My favorite burgundy shoes had been replaced with a fake. My beloved aquarium was gone. How could this happen? All I could do was stare at that cheap imitation shoe lying carelessly on the floor. I picked it up and hurled it hard against the wall before screaming again, full of rage. Zoe crawled into a corner, watching me helplessly. Who could have done this to me? This had to be a bad dream. It just had to. No, there must be a logical explanation. There has to be. I need to know where my original shoe and my aquarium disappeared to. I can't accept this. I won't accept this. I picked up my phone, and called Amelia and she picked. Baby, my aquarium is missing, my burgundy shoes have been exchanged with some crappy shoes. I was told you came over and took them, why did you do such?
Me? Who told you that? Me. Come on my love, I'm too big for such. Who is that unfortunate and useless fool that lied with my name? I came to the house just briefly to check if you were around when I couldn't get you over the phone. I'm even surprised that you came back without informing me. I guess you planned to get back at me for not telling you when I returned from Dubai. My love, you should know me of all people. Why will I take stuff like that when I can afford mine? My pappy got money, and he gives me everything I want. The enemy is within you. The thief is living in your house, and I will help you expose her. I'm coming right away to do that. She cannot escape this. You accommodated a deadly thief without knowing. I'm coming to your place. I will personally deal with that thief myself.
The call ended and I sat hard on the ground, holding my head. I looked over at Zoe and looked away. I left my house in your care, Zoe. What sort of rubbish explanation are you giving me? My aquarium and shoe disappeared, and you are telling me you don't know.
Sir, you can go ahead and ask Matthew. He was around and saw Madam Amelia. Nobody can come in here and take something away. Matthew said she was the one. If you doubt me, go and ask him.
Amelia cannot steal from me. She has everything, and her father is well-to-do. What is wrong with your head? Are you stupid? How do you expect me to believe what Matthew has to say? Matthew is your friend, he will defend you. I don't believe this nonsense story you're giving me, Zoe. I don't. One thing is certain, my shoe cannot go missing. My aquarium that was in this house before you came cannot just disappear. I will not take this nonsense story of yours, no, I won't. Hello, Dad.
Are you alright, Daniel? Your mother has been calling, but you aren't picking up. We were worried and wanted to know if you have gone to your house safely.
Yes, Dad, I'm home. I wanted the call to end right away, because I wasn't in a perfect mood for it. My dad gave the phone to my mom.
You got me worried, son. You promised to call immediately you arrived. I waited for your call but nothing came in. Is everything okay?
Yes, Mom, I'm fine, just a little busy, and I will talk to you later. Stop worrying about me all the time, I'm not a child, Mom. I'm alright. Yes, I am. Talk to you later, have to go now, bye. I ended the call, threw my phone over to a chair and walked out to the sitting room. I asked Zoe to leave my room until Amelia arrives. I went out and called Matthew. I asked him who came in during my absence, and he repeated the same thing Zoe said. Saying that Amelia came during my absence. I wasn't expecting him to say otherwise. I guess he was trying to defend Zoe, his friend. I went back inside, and couldn't just sit still. I walked to my room and started examining the shoe again. The person that exchanged my shoe with a fake one was a pure criminal. The creative designs on the fake shoe were not properly done when I took a closer look at it. The heel wasn't even equal, one was bigger than the other. The body wasn't crafted well like my main shoe, but the mistakes are not easily dictated, but it becomes so obvious with a close look. Amelia finally arrived.
Oh my gosh, that beautiful aquarium that I admire so much. I haven't even come across it anywhere, even your burgundy shoe. This is very serious, my love. I told you I wanted to make something similar for my puppy's birthday and I did. I presented the one I made to him during his birthday party, he was so happy. Why will Zoe do this?
I looked at her. Zoe, who stood at a far end, wore a straight face. She didn't cry or argue. She just stood staring at Amelia angrily. Amelia moved to her, calling her names. Yet, Zoe did not react.
Zoe, you are a big thief. A criminal. That's what you are, and I will make sure that you are arrested. You must provide those things you stole. I warned Dan about you, but he won't listen. Now look at the outcome. I'm always right because my instincts never fails me. Zoe the criminal. You planned with your street boyfriend to rob your boss' house while he was away. You planned to sell off his expensive properties to enrich yourself. Your plans has failed. You were a wicked witch. All those your stupid wretched boyfriends that joined you to commit such a crime will be exposed.
When Amelia mentioned Zoe's boyfriend, I quickly remembered Jeff. Yes, Jeff was Zoe's boyfriend, and Amelia may be right. I looked at Zoe, more anger forming in my mind. How could you, Zoe?
Dan, I told you about this girl but you won't listen. I think I told you. Now see the result. She's a criminal, and she must provide everything she has stolen. Call the police and get her arrested. They will make her confess to the crime, and with that her other accomplice will be apprehended. Call the police, Dan, call them now.
I sat back on a chair. Amelia slapped Zoe across the face, tore her clothes, and kept humiliating her. Zoe struggled with Amelia as her clothes were being torn apart. Amelia gave her two resounding slaps that echoed inside the house. Zoe staggered back and held her cheek in pain. I thought she would retaliate, but she didn't. A tear dropped down her face, and she quickly wiped them off. Amelia's long nails gave Zoe a cut on her face. I called Amelia to stop. She shouldn't take laws into her hands. Amelia kept urging me to call the police, but I chose not to. Amelia was angrily boiling even more than me, obviously. She went over Zoe again.
A dishonest person like you. After taking and selling your boss's belongings, you're now trying to put the blame on me. You're even shedding fake tears. What a performance. But we're not fooled. Since Dan has decided not to press charges, I will make sure the truth comes out. I'll take photos and record videos, and I'll share them on Instagram, Facebook, all over social media, to warn others about the kind of person they might unknowingly hire as a maid. Zoe, I'll make sure your actions are exposed. I gave my word that I would seek justice, and I intend to keep it.
Amelia tried to slap her again, but Zoe blocked it with her hand.
If you dare. I mean, if your name is Amelia and you hit me one more time, I will beat you to stupor, Amelia. I will so much beat you until you pass out. Don't dare me. I have taken enough of all this accusation. You can call me names and humiliate me all you want, but don't hit me again. I have had enough of your nonsense, and will not take any further from you.
Zoe pushed Amelia aside, and was shocked with the way Amelia crashed on the ground like a chicken feather, and immediately got up.
Dan, did you hear her? This fool wanted to beat me. Did you see what she just did to me? Dan, get her arrested. It's because you aren't doing anything, that's why she got wings to challenge me. Dan, go and beat her up, show her the real man in you. You are not to be messed with, or call the police right now.
Amelia picked up her phone and tried to video Zoe. I stood from where I sat and collected the phone from her. Enough of this, Amelia. I'm in pain, disappointed and hurt. I love my aquarium and my burgundy shoe, they give me joy, but they are both gone. I'm trying to think and get over it all. Stop worsening it, Amelia. I'm not calling the police, because I don't want Zoe to be arrested. I would rather dismiss her. Please, no pictures or videos. Let her be, stop all this crazy drama. I'm tired, really tired. I don't understand why Zoe will want to do such to me. Why exactly? Zoe, if you needed money you could have asked me. Why will you sell off my properties in my absence? The things I cherish most, and you replaced my shoe with a fake one. That's a criminal act, and I can get you arrested for it.
You want to get me arrested for a crime I did not commit? Then go ahead. Why do you conclude that I stole the things you cherished most? And why will I want to do such? Why do you point an accusing finger at me? Is it because I work for you as a help, or because you thought I'm not from a rich home, because my father is an ordinary man, unlike your woman's poppy? Is it because I depend on you for survival? I don't have a say because I'm a nobody, and Amelia, whose father is wealthy, is far more important, and she is not capable of committing such crimes. She can't steal or hurt a fly. Why did you conclude that I stole the aquarium and shoe? I was crying earlier because I hate injustice. I thought you will be wise enough to differentiate the truth from lies. But you are too gullible, Dan.
I was shocked. Zoe actually called me by my name. Amelia kept jumping around angrily. A lot began to unfold right in front of me, until I took a big action.
Dan, she actually called your name. Did you hear what she just said? This girl has developed strong wings because she saw that you are not taking her crime up. What a disrespect from a pure criminal. Big thief, you and your boyfriend or your brother, whoever you planned this with, will be exposed. You people will rot in jail. I will personally make sure of that.
You called him Dan, so why shouldn't I? I addressed him as sir because he was my boss. But now I'm a criminal to him, and before I'm judged, let me speak my mind and await my arrest. Talking about arresting my brother or boyfriend, the only man in my life and the one I'm inseparable from, is Jeff, and he's a cop in Canada. We talk most nights when he's off duty. Jeffrey.
Shush, shut your mouth. Keep quiet before thunder strikes you. Who gave you someone in Canada? A common church rat like you. You're a criminal from the slums. Who are you to claim someone abroad? This girl is damn funny. So apart from stealing, you also have a degree in lying. You're standing here running your dirty mouth and speaking English. All that won't save you. I'll make sure you're arrested, locked up, and the key thrown into the sea. Let's see how your imaginary cop boyfriend from fake Canada will save you. Stupid fool like you. I'll deal with you until you return everything you stole in this house. If not for my sweetheart stopping me from making a video, the whole world would have known that you're a criminal. A big tag would be attached to your name, and you'd be ruined forever.
In the beginning, Zoe had been crying and looked afraid, but suddenly she looked ready to fight. She even dared Amelia to carry on with her threats, bold and unafraid. Amelia's fingernail had left a mark on Zoe's face, now clearly visible. Her clothes were still torn, but she didn't care. Could it be because of her so-called boyfriend in Canada, who happens to be a police officer? I didn't care who she had. If I decided to pursue this case, she wouldn't escape my grip. I thought Zoe was a good girl. I almost made the worst mistake of my life by trying to break up with Amelia and confessing my feelings to Zoe. I'm glad I didn't. I would have regretted it. Zoe was full of pretense, and I felt worse knowing I had emotionally fallen for someone like her. I didn't have the heart to see her get hurt. I could have called the police. They'd make her confess to where my burgundy shoe was, and who she sold my aquarium to. But my heart wouldn't let me. Please leave my house and don't ever come back. You're not even sorry for what you did. You've got the guts to challenge me and my woman. I expected you to go on your knees and beg for forgiveness, but instead, you stand there daring me. Get the hell out of here. Employing you was a huge mistake, one I'll regret forever, because I may never find my aquarium or my treasured shoe again. I said this angrily to Zoe, who silently walked inside to gather her things.
Are you just going to let her go like that without arresting her? Dan, do you have a soft spot for her, or do you have any relationship with her? Why aren't you beating her up? Why not call the police? Why stop me from taking pictures and videos so I could post them online? Why, Dan, she's a criminal, and deserves to be tortured. You saw how she dared me, she pushed me to the ground. Dan, you saw it all and still let her go. What is wrong with you? You're supposed to beat the truth out of her, not let her go scot-free.
I was too tired to reply. The pain of losing my shoe weighed heavily on me. I felt like smashing everything in sight, but I remained seated, head tilted back, trying to breathe through the rage in my chest. I looked over at where my aquarium used to be and screamed. I punched the chair I was sitting on, trying to suppress the war raging inside me. Zoe came out with her bags. I watched as Amelia rushed at her. She grabbed the bag from Zoe's hand, stormed to the door, and threw it outside. Zoe stopped and looked at me, eyes filled with a frown and unexplainable pain.
The truth will never stay hidden forever. It will come to light someday, and I pray it happens soon. When that day comes, don't come looking for me, because I'll be gone for good.
Pastor Mrs. Zoe the Gold Digger. We've heard you, leave already. Criminal, thief, thief. Go to church and give thanksgiving that Dan let you go after stealing his most treasured possessions. He didn't beat you or get you arrested. You walked out free, go and thank your God. But remember, every day is for the thief, one day is for the owner. Stupid criminal from the slum, nonsense.
Zoe walked out, and that was the end of her.